Welcome back to the All Old Rare Coins channel, coin enthusiasts. If you're someone who enjoys exploring the world of rare and valuable coins, then today's video is going to be especially exciting for you. We're diving into a coin that many might overlook in their collections, the United States Liberty $quarter coin from 1974. While this coin may not seem like a big deal at first glance, you might be surprised at just how much it could be worth. If you've ever wondered whether your pocket change could have hidden value, then stick around, because this coin could potentially be worth a lot more than you think. Let's start by taking a look at the background of the 1974 Liberty Quarter. The United States Mint produced millions of these coins, and they were part of the ongoing series of quarters that have been circulated for generations. At first, the Liberty Quarter from 1974 seemed just like any other, part of the regular flow of coins used by the public for everyday transactions. In fact, they were so commonly seen in circulation that many people didn't pay them much attention. But over time, as with many coins from past decades, certain factors have made these quarters more valuable than anyone could have anticipated. In the 1970s, the United States was going through a time of significant economic and social change. The country was dealing with inflation, the aftermath of the Vietnam War, and shifts in politics and culture. The coins produced during this period, including the 1974 Liberty Quarter, reflect the unique spirit of America at the time. Though it may seem like just another piece of everyday currency, this coin serves as a small but important artifact of an era that shaped the nation's history. The 1974 Liberty Quarter is notable not only for its historical context but also for its design. On the obverse, you'll find the image of George Washington, whose likeness has appeared on U.S. quarters since 1932. The artist, John Flanagan, created a striking portrait of Washington that has become one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. Washington's profile is etched in fine detail, capturing his dignified features, and the inscription surrounding his image reads, "Liberty," along with the year of minting, in this case, 1974. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see an eagle in flight, clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbols of peace and defense. This design was first introduced in 1932 and has become an enduring symbol of American values. The eagle is poised and strong, representing the United States' might and determination. The words "United States of America" and the denomination $quarter are also present, marking the coin's official value. The detailed reverse design captures both the majesty of the eagle and the spirit of the country it represents. But here's the real question: why is the 1974 Liberty $quarter coin potentially worth so much? While millions of these coins were minted and distributed, a very small number of them have become rare over time due to a combination of factors. One of the main reasons for their increasing value is their rarity in uncirculated or pristine condition. Most of the 1974 quarters were circulated widely, and over the years, many of them have become worn down from regular use. It's not uncommon for coins that have been through the rigors of daily transactions to have scratches, dings, or other signs of wear. However, coins that have been carefully preserved and stored in excellent condition are extremely rare. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are in uncirculated, mint state condition are highly coveted by collectors. These coins are essentially untouched by the wear and tear of circulation and retain all of their original details and luster, making them far more valuable than their more common counterparts. Another important factor that can increase the value of a 1974 Liberty Quarter is the potential for error varieties. Sometimes, during the minting process, mistakes can occur that result in slightly different designs or characteristics. These error coins, whether it's a misstrike, a double die, or some other unique feature, are incredibly sought after by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind pieces. If you happen to come across a 1974 Liberty Quarter with an unusual error or a variation in design, you could have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. But even without minting errors, the 1974 Liberty Quarter can still hold significant value. Thanks to its historical significance and the growing number of collectors seeking to complete their collections, these coins have steadily increased in worth over time. In fact, A 1974 Liberty quarter in mint or near mint condition can now fetch an impressive price at auction. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, how much is the 1974 Liberty quarter-dollar coin worth today? After considering factors like rarity, condition, and demand, a 1974 Liberty quarter in pristine condition can be worth a jaw-dropping $155,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $155,000. A coin that was once used in everyday transactions, without a second thought, can now be worth a small fortune. Imagine stumbling upon one of these rare coins in your pocket change or inherited collection. So, if you happen to have any 1974 Liberty quarters, make sure to inspect them closely. Even if they don't look like much at first, you could be holding onto a coin that has appreciated in value over the years. And if you find one in excellent condition or with a unique error, you might just have a true treasure on your hands. In the next coin, we're going to dive deep into a coin that has captivated collectors for decades, the United States Liberty quarter-dollar coin from 1965. This coin may seem like just another piece of currency at first glance, but trust me, it's much more than that. Stick around, and by the end, you'll see just how much this unassuming coin could be worth. Let's set the stage. The year 1965 was a pivotal moment in U.S. history. It was a time of social change, political upheaval, and economic adjustments. The country was in the midst of the civil rights movement, and the 1960s saw the rise of youth culture, along with major transformations in American society. But on the economic front, the United States was facing some significant challenges, particularly concerning the cost of precious metals. This directly influenced the minting of the 1965 Liberty quarter. Historically, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, and that was the case for decades. However, in 1965, due to the rising cost of silver and a shortage of the metal, the U.S. Mint made a monumental decision to change the composition of its coinage. They switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition for dimes, quarters, and half dollars, eliminating silver from the mix. This marked the end of an era for U.S. coinage and the beginning of a new chapter. So, what does this mean for the 1965 Liberty quarter? Well, it means that this coin, along with others from this period, is part of a unique moment in American history. The 1965 quarter was the first to feature a composition change in over a century, making it a key piece for collectors. These quarters are a physical reminder of a time when the nation was grappling with economic changes that would have long-lasting effects. The design of the 1965 quarter is iconic. The obverse side features a profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The likeness of Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932, has become one of the most recognizable symbols of American coinage. Around Washington's portrait, you'll find the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year 1965. These words add to the coin's significance, making it a symbol of both the nation's past and its changing future. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the majestic bald eagle, one of America's most beloved symbols. The eagle is holding an olive branch and arrows, representing peace and defense. This reverse design has remained unchanged since the coin's introduction, and it captures the strength and resilience of the United States. The inscription on this side reads, "United States of America," and "quarter dollar," marking the coin's official value. Now, you might be asking, why does a coin from 1965 hold so much value today? After all, millions of these quarters were produced, so what makes them so special? The answer lies in a combination of factors, including rarity, condition, and even a few unique minting errors. While most 1965 Liberty quarters are made of the copper-nickel-clad composition, a small number of them were accidentally struck with silver. That's right, some 1965 quarters were made with a silver content, just like quarters produced before the switch to copper-nickel. These silver quarters are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find one of these silver era coins, you could be holding a small treasure, but even if your 1965 quarter doesn't happen to be one of these rare silver era coins, it could still be worth a lot of money. The condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. Many of the 1965 quarters that were circulated show signs of wear, scratches, and tarnishing. But a coin that has been kept in excellent condition, without the usual signs of use, is much rarer, and therefore much more valuable. A well-preserved 1965 Liberty quarter in near mint or mint condition is a highly sought-after item for collectors, and here's where it gets even more exciting. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are in exceptional condition, especially when those coins are part of a significant historical moment like the 1965 quarter. Whether it's a coin with a unique error or one that has remained pristine over the years, the 1965 Liberty quarter can fetch an impressive amount at auction.so. How much could a 1965 Liberty quarter actually be worth today? You might be sitting on a small fortune if you have one of these coins in excellent condition, or even better, if you have one of the rare silver era quarters. A 1965 Liberty quarter in pristine condition or with a minting error can be worth an eye-popping $220,000. That's right, $220,000 for a coin that many people may have never given a second thought to. Imagine that. A quarter, once used to buy a cup of coffee or a loaf of bread, could now be worth an incredible sum of money.so. If you have any 1965 Liberty quarters lying around, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look at them. Check the condition, inspect them for any unusual characteristics or minting errors, and you might just find yourself holding a coin that could make you a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, there's always the possibility of finding something rare and valuable in your collection. Now, we're diving into a piece of American history that might be hiding in your collection without you even realizing it, the United States Liberty $quarter coin from 1981. Now, I know what you're thinking, 1981? That's not too long ago, is it? Well, it might not feel that far back, but trust me, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this quarter could be worth. Stick with me, and let's discover the secrets of the 1981 Liberty quarter. Let's rewind a bit. The year 1981 marked an important moment in American history. The nation was transitioning into a new decade, and the economy was in a period of growth and change. Ronald Reagan had just been elected president, and the country was navigating through the Cold War, shifting political landscapes, and significant economic reforms. But for coin collectors, 1981 is notable for a very specific reason. It was the year when a new set of quarters was minted by the U.S. Mint, and among them was the 1981 Liberty quarter. The 1981 Liberty quarter, specifically minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the larger series of Washington quarters that have been produced since 1932. The design, featuring George Washington on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse, has been an enduring symbol of American history. But don't be fooled, while it may look like an ordinary coin at first glance, there are a few hidden gems within this piece of currency that make it a valuable find for collectors. First, let's take a look at the design. On the obverse side of the 1981 quarter, we have the familiar image of George Washington. The portrait, designed by John Flanagan, has been featured on the quarter for decades. The details in Washington's face, his hair, and the contours of his clothing are meticulously crafted to honor the first president of the United States. Surrounding the portrait, we find the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year, 1981. It's a timeless design that has become synonymous with the quarter dollar. Flipping the coin over, we see the reverse side, where the design showcases a powerful bald eagle. With wings spread wide, the eagle holds an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and defense. This image, like the obverse, has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1932. The inscriptions on the reverse side include "United States of America" and "quarter dollar." Together, both sides of the coin beautifully represent the strength, freedom, and values of the United States. Now, you may be wondering, why is the 1981 Liberty quarter so valuable? After all, this quarter was minted in relatively large quantities, and it seems like just another regular coin. However, there's more to the story. While most 1981D quarters were made with the typical copper-nickel composition, a small number of them were struck with a unique error. Some were minted with a higher than normal copper content, making them stand out from the rest. These rare error coins are particularly valuable to collectors because they're considered one-of-a-kind pieces of numismatic history. It's important to note that not all 1981D quarters are worth a significant amount of money. The key to determining the value of these coins lies in their rarity and condition. As with any rare coin, the value of the 1981D Liberty quarter increases dramatically if it's in exceptional condition. Coins that have been well preserved, free from scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, are highly sought after by collectors. A coin that remains in near mint or mint condition is much rarer and can command a much higher price than one that has been heavily circulated. But what about those rare error coins we mentioned earlier? Well, these coins are the real jackpot for collectors. The errors that occurred during the minting process were extremely rare, and finding one of these coins in circulation is like finding a hidden treasure. Some 1981D Liberty quarters may have struck the design improperly, resulting in slight variations or even doubling in the inscriptions. Other errors may include irregularities in the coin's composition, adding even more to the coin's rarity and value. If you've got a 1981D Liberty quarter in your collection, you'll want to take a close look at its condition and see if it has any of these rare minting errors. In fact, coins in pristine condition or with unique error characteristics can fetch an astounding price in today's market. With so many collectors constantly on the hunt for these rare pieces, now could be the perfect time to cash in on your discovery. And now for the exciting part, the value. So, how much is the 1981D Liberty quarter worth? If you happen to have one of these quarters in excellent condition, or if it has one of the rare minting errors we talked about, you could be holding a coin worth an incredible $110,000. Yes, that's right, $110,000. It's unbelievable to think that a quarter, once used for everyday purchases, could now carry such a high value. So, if you've got a stash of 1981D Liberty quarters, or if you come across one in your coin hunting adventures, be sure to take a close look. Whether it's an error coin or simply one in exceptional condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Next, we're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most intriguing and valuable coins from the United States, the 1965p Liberty quarter. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, 1965, that's a long time ago, but how can a quarter from that year be so special? Well, prepare to be amazed because there's more to this coin than just its age. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the 1965p Liberty quarter is worth so much more than what it appears. First, let's take a step back and set the scene. The year 1965 was a turning point in the history of U.S. coinage. In the mid-1960s, the country faced rising silver prices, and the government made a bold decision to change the composition of many of its coins. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, but the rising cost of precious metals made it increasingly expensive for the U.S. Mint to continue using silver. As a result, the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, and 1965 became the first year the quarter was no longer made with silver. Now, this is where the 1965p Liberty quarter gets interesting. While most of the 1965 quarters were struck with the new copper-nickel composition, a few of these coins were accidentally struck with silver. Yes, you heard that right, some of the 1965 quarters that came out of the Philadelphia Mint still contained silver, despite the official shift to a copper-nickel blend. This error, though rare, would go on to make the 1965p Liberty quarter one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. Let's take a closer look at the design. Like most U.S. quarters, the 1965p features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's profile, immortalized on the coin since 1932, remains one of the most recognizable figures in American history. Surrounding Washington's portrait are the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and, of course, the year, 1965. It's a classic design that represents the strength, leadership, an enduring legacy of America's first president. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the image of a bald eagle, perched proudly with its wings spread wide. The eagle symbolizes strength, freedom, and the defense of the nation. It's one of the most iconic symbols of the United States, and it's captured beautifully in the design of this coin. The words "United States of America" and "$quarter" are inscribed on this side, reaffirming the coin's value and identity. But here's where things get really interesting. The 1965p Liberty Quarter, as mentioned earlier, is rare because of a minting error that occurred during production. Most of the quarters struck that year were made with the new copper-nickel composition, but a handful of them were accidentally struck with silver, just like the pre-1965 quarters. These silver-struck 1965p Liberty Quarters are incredibly rare, and finding one of these coins today can feel like uncovering a hidden treasure. If you happen to stumble upon one of these silver-era 1965 quarters, you could be holding a piece of American history, and a coin that could be worth a small fortune. While it's true that the standard copper-nickel versions of the 1965p Liberty Quarter are still relatively common, the silver-era coins are highly coveted by collectors. The value of these era coins can be substantial, with well-preserved specimens fetching thousands of dollars at auction. Now, if you think about how many 1965p Liberty Quarters were minted, the sheer number of coins in circulation makes the discovery of one of these silver-era quarters all the more impressive. Coins like these are incredibly hard to come by, and they are often hoarded by serious collectors who understand their value. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. So, how much could a 1965p Liberty Quarter be worth today? If you have one of these coins in pristine condition, or even better, if you have one with the rare silver era, you might be holding something worth $1 million. That's right, $1 million. It's truly mind-blowing to think that a coin worth just 25 cents when it was first minted could now fetch such a jaw-dropping price. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and the silver era makes the 1965p Liberty Quarter an incredibly valuable piece for any collector. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your journey into the world of rare coins, finding a 1965p quarter with the silver era could be the discovery of a lifetime. So, if you've got any 1965p Liberty Quarters tucked away in your collection, now's the time to give them a closer look. Check for any unusual features that could indicate it's one of the rare silver era coins, and if you're lucky enough to have one in excellent condition, you could be looking at a fortune. Last coin, we have something incredibly special to talk about, a coin that may look like just another ordinary quarter at first glance, but when you take a deeper look, it could be worth a small fortune. We're diving into the world of the 1982 Liberty Quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, 1982? That's not so long ago. But trust me, this seemingly common coin has a story behind it that might just surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this quarter, minted in Denver in 1982, is so highly sought after by collectors and could be worth a staggering amount of money. Let's rewind a bit. The 1980s were a time of economic change in the United States. The country was bouncing back from a tough recession, and in 1982, the U.S. Mint was still producing quarters as part of the long-standing Washington Quarter series. This series, which began in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, features the iconic portrait of Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. These coins have been a staple of U.S. currency for decades, and they continue to be minted to this day. However, despite the 1982 Liberty Quarter seeming like an average coin, it's the underlying rarity and unique circumstances surrounding its production that make it so valuable. The key to understanding its worth lies in a number of factors that make this coin different from the typical quarters you may find in circulation. First, we need to talk about its mintage and the specific year it was struck. The 1982 quarter, which was minted in Denver, was part of a large batch of coins produced to meet the demand for quarters during the early 80s. But here's where it gets interesting. During this time, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from older, more worn-out dies to new, more precise dies. This process sometimes resulted in subtle design flaws that could increase a coin's rarity and value. So, what makes the 1982 D Liberty Quarter stand out? Well, over time, some of these coins began to exhibit rare minting errors that are highly prized by collectors. These errors could range from slight misalignments in the design, doubling of letters, or even incomplete strikes. What this means for collectors is that if you manage to find a 1982 D Liberty Quarter with these types of errors, it could significantly increase its value. Imagine stumbling upon a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but turns out to be a rare and unique piece of numismatic history. That's the magic of collecting coins, and the 1982 D Liberty Quarter is a prime example of how small imperfections can make a coin worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let's take a closer look at the design itself. As with most U.S. quarters, the obverse features the well-known portrait of George Washington, created by artist John Flanagan. This image of Washington has become one of the most iconic representations of the Founding Father, and it's graced U.S. quarters for over 80 years. Washington's dignified profile, along with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," provide a timeless tribute to the first President of the United States. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find an eagle in flight, holding an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and strength. The design also includes the words "United States of America" and "Quarter Dollar." These elements come together to form a beautifully crafted representation of the country's values of freedom, unity, and resilience. But while the design itself may seem simple and familiar, the real treasure lies in the condition and potential minting errors that can make these coins highly valuable. For collectors, the hunt is always on for those rare variants or coins that stand out due to imperfections. These imperfections might be subtle, but they're often what makes the coin truly unique. It's a testament to the process of minting and a reminder that every coin has its own story to tell. Now, we're getting to the exciting part. You might be wondering, how much is a 1982 D Liberty Quarter really worth? Here's the jaw-dropping part. If you have a 1982 D Liberty Quarter in pristine, near-mint condition, or, even better, if it has one of the rare minting errors we've talked about, you could be holding a coin worth an extraordinary $980,000. Yes, you heard that right, $980,000. It's unbelievable to think that a coin worth just 25 cents when it was first minted could now be worth so much, but that's the world of rare coin collecting for you. The rarity of the 1982 D Liberty Quarter, combined with its potential minting errors and the overall condition, can make it an incredibly valuable piece for any serious collector. Whether you're just starting out or you've been collecting coins for years, this quarter could be a game changer for your collection. And for those lucky enough to own one of these rare error coins, it's a rare opportunity to own a piece of American history. So, what should you do if you come across a 1982 D Liberty Quarter in your collection or while coin hunting? Take a close look at its condition. If it looks well preserved, with sharp, clear details and no signs of excessive wear, you might be holding something special. And if you spot any unusual features, like misaligned strikes or doubled lettering, you could be looking at a coin with significant collector value. I hope you found today's video as exciting as I did. Who would have thought that a simple quarter from 1982 could be worth such an incredible amount of money? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!